Hey guys, this is test 61 game 1. This is the workers driving cars game. It's what I call a splitting game because we're dividing the variables into two different groups, both of which are present. Now I've laid out a lot of rules here, but I'm going to explain all of those. We've got each car 1 and car 2, each one with at least two different people, and then the remaining two people could be split evenly, making 3 and 3, or it could be 4 and 2 or 2 and 4. We don't really know, so I haven't put those down. They tell us that each car is a driver, so I put down DR for driver on each side here, and then the other people will just be passengers or whatever. Now I've laid out some rules on this side. I'll explain those too. We've got either F or G driving H's car, so I put a vertical box here to represent the fact that they're going in the same column with a DR for driver. We've got either F or K driving J, so I put F/K with a DR next to it for driver, and then G and L are in the same car, although we don't know if either of them has to be a driver at all. So this is a very bare bones initial setup here. We can actually do a lot more because we have a few different possibilities regarding how this could play out over here. We could have F driving H in one car and then K driving J in the other car. We could have G driving H in one car and then K driving J in the other. We could have G driving H in one car with F driving J in the other. Or we could have F, H, and J all together with F driving both H and J. And then we'd have, things rather open-ended for the other side, and you'll see how that plays out in a moment. So I actually create 4 different main diagrams based on those 4 different possibilities. Again, we could have number 1, F with H and then K with J. We could have G with H and K with J. We could have G with H and F with J. Or we could have F, H, and J all on one side, and then G and L on the other side. So 4 different possibilities creating the 4 different main diagrams for the game. So here they are. We got F with H, K with J, G with H and K with J, G with H and F with J, or F with both H and J. So these are the 4 different ways that we can satisfy the first 2 rules of the game. Now we can flesh things out a little bit further here because we know that G and L have to go together. So wherever we have G, we're also going to have L. So since G is with H over here, I'm going to put L there as well. Since G is with H here, I'm going to put L there as well. Then on the bottom right diagram, GL could not possibly fit in column 1 because then we would only have one other person, K, going on 2. That's not enough. So for that reason, I'm going to put G with L right here in column 2, and then K will be on the fence. In this diagram, K is also on the fence. And in this diagram, we've got F on the fence since we satisfied everything else already. And then in the top left diagram, we've got both G and L on the fence. We don't really know where they're going. But these are essentially all of the possibilities for the game. 4 different main diagrams representing every single possibility. As you see, things are almost fully fleshed out here. Now, question number 1 is a typical orientation question. We're just going to take one rule at a time and apply that rule to all 5 choices, looking for violations. So first of all, I think the simplest one to look for would be, do we have G and L together? So we'll scan through the choices, seeing where that doesn't happen, and we see in choice C, we do not have G and L together, so C is gone. Both D and E are good though, and A and B were good on that issue also. So we can move on to the next rule. We know that we've got to have H with either F or G driving, so I'll look for violations of that. Choice A is good on that, B is good on that. C does not have H with either F, or C actually does have H with F or G, so that's okay. D has H but not with either F or G driving, so D is bad for that reason. And then choice E has H with G driving, so that's okay. I'll move on to the second one now. Do we have J with either F or K driving? We'll look at A, B, and E now. J has F driving, so that's good. B has J with L driving, that's unacceptable, so B is gone. And then looking at E, we've got J driving, but J's not allowed to drive. J has to be in the car with either F or K driving, so E is bad, leaving A for number 1. I wanted to point out one thing really quickly before we move on here. I've labeled the cars as 1 and 2, but I should actually rather say that the cars are interchangeable because they never make any kind of distinction in the rules regarding whether, car 1 or car 2. They just don't say it covered at all. So instead of saying, car 1 and car 2, I should actually just leave these blank because it doesn't really matter which car is which, so I'm going to do that. So cars 1 and 2 are entirely interchangeable here. There's no difference between them. Any car that could be 1 could be 2 and vice versa. So anyway, question number 2 they're asking us a general cannot be true question regarding who drives the cars. So we could easily have F and G driving in the bottom left possibility, so A is gone. We could have F and K driving in the top left possibility, so B is gone. F and L driving. In this bottom right diagram, I've labeled this as being driver, but really it doesn't need to be the driver at all. Either G or L could be the driver. So for that reason, we could have FL driving in choice C, so for that reason that's gone. Choice D, G, and K, we have that in the top right diagram, so D is gone, leaving E by elimination. If we look at it, K and L never happens. Whenever K is driving, it's with either F or with G. So for that reason, K and L driving at the same time could never happen. The only time that L could drive is in the bottom right diagram, where F would be the other driver. So E is our answer for 2. Next, number 3, if L drove one of the cars. So if L was driving one of the cars, that could only ever happen in the bottom right possibility. All of the others are invalid. So I'm going to make L the driver right here in the bottom right diagram. I'm just going to circle it to indicate that's the driver, and of course F is the driver as well in the other car. So what could be true? F and K together. Yeah, K could go either way here. It could go onto the first car, and the first column could go on the second car. Either way, yeah, it's possible for F to be with K, so for that reason, A is our answer. I will look at the rest, though. F and L in the same car, no, they're separated. They're each drivers of the two different cars, so B's gone. G and H in the same car, no, they're separated, so that's gone. G and J, no, they're separated in the two different cars. And then E, H, and L, no, they're separated as well, so E's gone, leaving A. If F was with 2 other workers in car 1, and if F was not the driver. So the only time that F is not the driver, let's see, where could that happen? That happens in the top right possibility. Another one, F is driver here, so that's irrelevant. F is the driver here, so that's irrelevant. And F is the driver here, so that's irrelevant, leaving the top right possibility. So if F was with 2 other people, well, F can't be in the left car because that would mean it was with 3 other people. Therefore, F is actually going to go into the car on the right here with both K and J. So the person in car 1 other than F and the driver. So K is the driver and F is there also. That leaves J to be the person with F who is not the driver. So J, choice C, is our answer for 4. Next, number 5, general cannot be true question. Therefore, all 4 diagrams here are relevant. So A, G is the only other person than the driver in one of the cars. Does that ever happen? Well, G could be with L over here, and then we could put K in the other car with FHJ. So yeah, G could be the only other person other than the driver. We could make L the driver here and make G the passenger. That works, so A is gone. Next, H is the only person other than the driver. Where would that happen? Well, in the top left diagram, we could put G and L to the car on the right, have H be the passenger, and make F the driver. That would work. Therefore, B is gone. Looking at C, J is the only person other than the driver. That could happen in the top left diagram with, make K the driver and make GL go to the left. Or in the bottom left diagram, we can make J the passenger with F the driver and make K go to the car on the left. That would work. And then also, top right diagram, J could be the passenger with K being the driver, F could go to the left. Those all work. Therefore, C is possible and is gone. Looking at D, K is the only person other than the driver. Well, here K is the driver, so that's irrelevant. Here K is the driver, so that's irrelevant. Here in the bottom 2, K could be a passenger, but wherever K goes, it will be with at least 2 other people, not just one other person who could be the driver. Therefore, D is impossible and is our answer. I will look at E though. L, the only person other than the driver. That could happen in the bottom right possibility. Right here, K could go to the left. Then we'd have L with G the driver, L being the passenger. That could work. Therefore, E's gone, leaving D.